half-assed reporter James Kalm on the bike. And we are on Grand Street on the Lower East Side. It's the Thursday night, late night gallery crawl scene. We're gonna try to check out some things here. Hello. A special shout out to our viewers in Paris, East London, and Nome, Alaska. We're gonna drop in here to the Mark Straus Gallery. Ouch! And we're gonna try to get some pictures of an exhibition by José Carlos Martinat. Well, I initially saw some pieces online, and I was attracted to the imagery, and there's another interesting aspect, which is that José Carlos actually uses a process where he covers the walls with a type of fiberglass and resin combination, and then he peels off the surfaces and makes them into these kind of free-hanging sheets of resin. But by doing that, he preserves the original wall applications, and in certain ways this relates to the officists, the French torn poster artists that appeared in Paris after the war. And I can't find a title for this particular piece, but I would estimate that it's about 7.5 by 6 feet, 6.5, something like that. So maybe 90 by 72. I also can't find the title for this piece. I'll read a little bit from the press release. José Carlos Martinat, born 1974, lives and works in Lima, Peru. Martinet's work is concerned with the social, cultural, and political context of Latin America. He has a multidisciplinary practice that involves painting, sculpture, audio appropriation, and text. Okay, so 5 out of 6 is not bad. In his signature work, Martinat sources graffiti from walls and surfaces throughout South America. He's developed a technique to extract layers of paint that is then peeled away, maintaining the grittiness of the wall with its imagery. He appropriates logos, lettering, and phrases that capture the political tension of the populace. These paintings, in parentheses, have a new life on the white walls of galleries, museums, and private collections. They are once beautiful and unusual objects while retaining their visceral immediacy, transporting the emotional tension of the source. Okay, here's the part that I thought was good. This exhibition comes about at an important moment in Peru, almost concurrent with Martinet's opening at our gallery. The voters of Peru will be going to the polls to elect a president. Peruvian politics have been rife with corruption. Oh gosh, that's unique. 4 of the past 5 presidents are in jail. Okay, among the current candidates, there are many to be no good alternatives. Okay, well, we were just celebrating the fact that we can take our masks off now. Dr. Straus has said it's okay if we're all vaccinated, fully vaccinated.
I am still a licensed physician.
Oh, good. This is titled...
Malpractice, so if I say something terrible, I better watch out.
Okay. Alizana por el Progress #1. It's Alliance for Progress #1. It's 2021. Found graffiti and acrylic on wall extraction, the dimensions 78 by 74. Okay, so, well, it's intriguing that he is able to capture so much of this. Although I would say that the process with the fiberglass and the resin does add its own quality to this. Okay, this is titled We Can. This is 92 by 98. And, well, I'm also wondering if there is not a little bit of intervention in here. It's like these, I don't know, maybe somebody tried to paint out parts of this on the walls. Nice kind of coloristic things happening here. Are you the artist?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Okay, so this one is titled Popular Force?
Alliance for Progress.
Alliance for Progress, okay, yeah.
It's a mix of those two political logotypes.
And I would estimate that that's about a 6-foot square, something like that.
Yeah.
And gosh, I like the kind of underlying geometric forms, the circle and the squares being divided in the text. Okay, we're gonna go upstairs and check out the rest of the show. Okay, we got a couple of smaller pieces here in the hallway. I like this. It's titled National Victory. You know, some of the designs that he extracts are so nice that, God, he should be giving credit to some of these people that are doing the street art. These are beautiful and actually very nicely designed. Okay, up the stairs. Okay, well, we'll do a little sweep of the pieces that are in the Atrium Gallery. I think that's the piece I saw online that got me in here. Also, I don't have a list of titles or dimensions for these, so I would think this is titled Marca. So I saw another one. We saw another one with a pencil downstairs, and now I get it. It's like, yeah, we use the pencil to mark our ballots with, and I wonder how many of these countries in South America allow mail-in ballots and drop boxes and all that stuff. That would be interesting to find out. I'd say that that's probably about 6.5 feet square. Gosh, I just like this one from kind of a coloristic aspect. Yeah, there's a lot of layers of orange, yellows, ochres, greens, and the fiberglass adds almost a kind of aqua shade to some of this. So here and there he's got these little bubbles. And I was thinking that, I guess it was in the early 60s, mid-60s, Al Hell did a whole series of huge paintings that were all dealing with letters. I think he called them the alphabet paintings before he switched over to his black and white geometric pieces, and this kind of recalls that a little bit. Okay, here's our little cartoon kid, and gosh, the way they've got that face painted over recalls all the people wearing masks. This is a big piece. I would say this one is probably about 9 by 6, something like that. Caja Municipal, ICA. Well, they were talking about the unique technique that he uses to extract these. As a painter, I have to look at this and think, if I didn't have the explanation of the technique down, I would be looking at it and going, God, this is a real interesting painting technique. So I like the big blue one, and then there's a kind of a ghost of a little, it's like a senorita with a sombrero behind there. Okay, very nice. Okay, this is the last one, and as I said, I don't have the titles for these in the atrium gallery. I'll call this Yellow House. This actually makes me think of a Don Bechler painting. Kind of. I think there's another nice quality is that in certain ways these are kind of like, remind me of the look of encaustic when you have layers of semi-transparent paraffin over your images, and this has that kind of quality of layers of semi-transparent resin over the image. Well, okay, they've got some South American tabloids here, and oh gosh, look, there's this pencil symbol. Well, that was a quick run through of José Carlos Martinat, RUINOPHILIA at the Mark Straus Gallery. We're gonna try to roll on. And now we're going to run into Mitchell, INNES, and Nash and take a little stroll through Keltie Ferris feeling. It's kind of drizzly outside and cold. It's the Saturday of the Memorial Day weekend, 2021. I rolled over to Chelsea and I thought I would see at least some of the galleries open. There were a list of interesting painting shows I thought I would like to pop in and see, but I think this is about the only one that was open. We've been watching Keltie's work for probably about 8 or 10 years now, and think she's probably one of the more interesting youngish painters on the scene these days. And when I came in to see this show, I was also intrigued with some of the devices that she's employing for this latest body of work. Okay, she's also playing with her titles and the language part of this. So this is Sounds 2021, graphite on canvas in artist's frame. And, well, I was talking about one of the things that she's doing in this particular show that I think is interesting, and that is employing these shadow box frames as a important part of the paintings. They're not just a border between the work of art and the real world. They're actually part of the work of art. So I guess technically at some point you'll put a frame around the frame, I guess, or a plastic box around the frame. Okay, so this is titled capital S question mark exclamation point I question mark exclamation point blah 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 2021. This is 60 by 50 inches oil and watercolor on canvas in artist's frame. Well, okay, so I was wondering what kind of paint she was using, so it says she's using some watercolor. Also, I would say that she's got some kind of spray paint in there. And, well, it looks like she's maybe rolling in some of the background colors. And again, this painting would read totally different if it didn't have this yellow frame on it. And yeah, even the reflected light on the inside of the frame kind of bounces off the edge of the canvas. I believe this is titled Achilles Alexandra, oil on canvas. This is 80 by 60. Well, I think we came in and saw Keltie's last show, and I was commenting on how technically advanced the work was, just as far as her using different types of methods to put the paint down. And I think that this kind of goes to that way of thinking as well. So if you look, she's got her grids of squares, but some of them are out of register, some of them are in register. She's got her initial ground of the kind of curly Q squiggles and lines. And she plays that with her color fields. The way that she's breaking up her little squares into pixels makes me think of E.J. Hauser, who we bopped in and saw last week. Okay, This is the title piece in the show. This is Feelings. Okay, so this is oil and watercolor. And I'm thinking that maybe one of the reasons that she's mixing the techniques like that is that you get a kind of water resist. The watercolor pigment won't stick to the places where the oil is laid down. I kind of like her little seams in here. Also, I can't look at a form like this and not think about an eyeball, which then makes me think about Cubism, and next thing I know, I'm thinking about George Condo. Well, this is notable here. Keltie's got an entire back wall that she's covered with her scribbly, I would assume that's all graphite marks, and maybe she's smudged it with her fingers, or maybe washed in some smudges with some kind of solvent. Paint thinner, maybe. This is titled Landscape. I think this is one of the lightest, freshest pieces. The way that she's kind of rolling in her base colors makes me think a little bit of Max Ernst and some of his frottage pieces from the mid-30s. And then, yeah, Keltie has kind of gone in with her little blotches of oil paint and covered in some sections. Also, this is one of the pieces where the frame does kind of act in a little more of a as a constraining device, maybe. Well, I was just notified by the gallerists that they thought I was getting too close to the paintings, that I should keep a discreet distance from them. So we'll do that. This back wall drawing is actually titled Ecstatic Being Ecstatic 2021 Graphite on Sheetrock. And this piece is 4 BCF. This is graphite on canvas, 72 by 60. I like the way that it seems like most of the brush strokes, or most of the graphite strokes in this drawing are running horizontally. They're kind of, skeins are kind of clustered horizontally, and that's contrasted against the background drawing where it's kind of equally mixed between the horizontal and the vertical lines. So I like the way that Keltie is using the gradient color fades on this. Okay. not going to get too close. They would get nervous. It's titled Water Lilies. I think one of the things that I do appreciate about Keltie's work is that she does have a nice color sense. And this is kind of I guess an analogous color scheme with a few juicy contrasts, kind of the light salmon dots here. Also, I like the idea of, we were talking about the grids, but each layer of the grid kind of forms a kind of spatial plane, and as you start to multiply those, it's like you have layers upon layers, planes upon planes of space. And I think the Keltie does a good job of using the color to play on that idea. And now we've got a large graphite piece. Well, we were talking about her games that she's playing with the language of the titles. This is nice. This is titled Keltie Ferris, 2020. This is 96 by 77. I was wondering about how big this was. So that's 8 by 6.5 feet. And I think this one certainly has more of a sense of a straight drawing, because she hasn't taken the graphite lines and run them out over the edge onto the frames. And of course, you can't look at this kind of scribbles and not think about people like Cy Twombly. Oh, she's even got some erasure in there. Kind of little chunks of rubber erasers. This is titled Streams, with equal marks between all the letters. This is oil and vinyl paint, 72 by 60. Well, this is about the only piece in the show that has these chunks of thickly, looks like she's squeegeing them through a thick stencil, blobs of oil paint. Or maybe it's vinyl paint. And this is what she was using a lot, this technique was what she was using a lot of in her last show. Okay, we're gonna wrap up looking at this piece. The polyplatonics. So this is 80 by 80. This is, again, this is using, she's using her grids and her kind of closely keyed color harmonies. I was thinking one thing that I kind of liked about this one is that there's actually a certain painterliness in the frame. think it was Howard Hodgkins, a great British painter that might have passed away in the last 4 or 5 years, that kind of made his name out of doing paintings on wood, and then would build frames for them and paint on the frames, and so everything just kind of ran together. And this kind of has a kind of an echo of that sensibility. We're gonna run on. James Kalm reporting on Keltie Ferris. Feelings here at Mitchell, Innes, and Nash. If you'd like this, share. Post it at all your social media sites. And you can leave your thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, and reviews below. We'd like to send out a special shout out to our dear friend who passed away recently, Art Guerra, one of the stalwarts of the Williamsburg Bushwick painting scene. We love you, Art. And we also like to say thank you, Kate. Pink clouds, pink clouds. Yeah. Thank you.